Hello, and welcome to episode 173 of Rivers Arcade Review. My name is Ed. This channel is dedicated to the coin-operated video games of yesteryear. Today I'm doing a viewer request. Today's game was requested by the viewer Don McCullen, and the game they requested was Gauntlet II. Gauntlet II was released in 1986 by Atari. My first time playing this game was at Wizard of Games Arcade inside a Ford City Mall in Chicago, Illinois. Gauntlet II is a labyrinth and fighting themed game in which you control your character with an 8-way joystick and 2 buttons, one to fire and one for magic. You need to fight your way through a series of mazes while fighting multiple enemies while collecting treasures, all while trying to find the exit. This game is a sequel to the very popular game Gauntlet. Atari chose not to make any serious changes to the sequel and stuck to the if it's not broke, don't fix it, and they merely chose to improve on what was already great. This game once again allows 4 players to compete simultaneously. In the original Gauntlet, each player controls a different colored character, each with different strengths and weaknesses. In this game, each player still controls a different colored character. Just like before, player 1 is red, player 2 is blue, player 3 is yellow, and player 4 is green, although there is a new twist. Each player now has the option of choosing the warrior who is strongest at hand-to-hand combat, wizard who is best at magic, Valkyrie who has the best armor, and elf who has the fastest movement. Just like the original, each character will have their own high score list. At the beginning of the game, each player has the option to choose any of the 4 warriors. Because of this option, each player is allowed to choose the same character. Since this game gives warnings for the player's benefit, it will say Blue Warrior needs food badly, for example.
Blue Warrior needs food badly.
Once you insert your credit, pushing the joystick up will cause you to choose Warrior, pressing down will cause you to choose Wizard, pressing right will cause you to choose Elf, and pressing left will cause you to choose Valkyrie. Gameplay will take place on the left 2/3 of the monitor, and player scoring and statistic will take place on the right third of the monitor. The playfield will continuously scroll in the direction you are moving. The game begins with your character at the top left of the playfield. You will be greeted with the welcome from the game. The game will also give text and audio tips as you advance through the game. Each player will begin with a predetermined amount of health. Management has the option to set health from 100 to 2,000 units in 100-unit increments. You have the option to add more coins to increase your health. Your health will increase the same amount per credit as you received for the initial buy-in, although there is a twist. Since buying more health will allow you to go further into the game and earn more points, your total score will be divided by the total coins inserted to give an average per coin before showing you the rank in the high scoreboard. Your health will automatically decrease 10 units approximately every 10.5 seconds. If your health drops below 200 units, you'll get a warning that your life force is running out and a text message, insert coins for more health. Entering a coin before your health reaches 0 will increase your health by the same amount of the initial buy-in, and you will keep the same score, although if your health runs out and you continue, you will begin at the start of the level with the score of 0. Throughout the maze will be different items you can collect. The first item will be keys. You need to collect these keys to open doors throughout the mazes. You can only use each key once, so when you open a door, that key will disappear. The next item will be food. Collecting the food items will increase your health by 100 units. You need to use caution because some of the food can be destroyed by your shots. The next item you can collect will be magic potions. These items will be in blue bottles, and collecting them will allow you to use magic once per bottle. Pressing the magic button will cause all enemies on screen to be defeated. You need to avoid shooting these bottles because shooting them will cause some enemies to disappear, although the magic won't be as powerful as it would be if you collected it. In addition to these objects, there will be treasure chests throughout the maze, although now some of the chests will be closed and locked. You'll need a key to open these chests. Just like the doors, using a key to unlock these treasure chests will cause the key to disappear. This gameplay is the same as the original, although there are new challenges. The original enemies have returned. The first enemy will be the ghosts. You need to shoot the ghosts because if one contacts you, you will lose 10 units of health. New ghosts will be able to appear from piles of bones called generators. You need to shoot these generators to stop new ghosts from appearing. The bone piles for these ghosts will come in 3 sizes, and shooting them will cause them to become smaller, and when you shoot the smallest, they will disappear. The next enemy you'll deal with will be the Grunts. Grunts will be caveman-shaped enemies that carry clubs and will fight your character. You can either shoot or fight these Grunts. You need to go face-to-face in order to fight the Grunts. You will earn more points for fighting the Grunts than shooting them, although you'll lose more health by doing so. The Grunts will appear from house-shaped generators. You can also shoot these generators to prevent new Grunts from appearing. Just like the original game, the generators will also come in 3 shapes. The strongest generator will have larger shapes on the top. Shooting the house generators will cause the top to change to the next smallest and will disappear when you shoot it when it's the smallest. The next enemy you will deal with will be the demons. The demons are dragon-shaped enemies. These demons will shoot fireballs at you. You can also fight or shoot these demons to defeat them. The generators will look the same as those for the grunts and need to be destroyed to keep new demons from appearing. The next enemy will be the Lobbers. You can also fight or shoot the Lobbers, although these enemies have a new twist. These enemies will throw bombs at you. You need to avoid these bombs because you will lose 3 units of health each time one contacts you. The Lobbers will also appear from the generators. The next enemy you will face will be the Sorcerers. The Sorcerers will wear purple robes and will also fight you. These enemies have a trick up their sleeves. The Sorcerers have the ability to become invisible. When invisible, they are invulnerable. You need to fight or shoot these enemies when visible to defeat them. Each of these enemies will come in 3 different shades. The lighter the shade, the more shots it'll take to destroy them. Each time you shoot an enemy, it will become a darker shade, and when you shoot them when they are at the darkest, they will disappear. In addition, Death has returned and is still invulnerable to your shots. You can only defeat Death by using the magic potions. If Death contacts you, you will lose 4 units of health, and your health will continuously decrease until you break contact, destroy him with magic, or 200 units of health click off your meter. The Thief has also returned and will chase down the player with the most power-ups. If the Thief contacts your player, he will steal one of your items such as keys, magic, as well as other power-ups. Shooting the Thief will cause him to drop all the items that he has captured. If the Thief escapes, he will drop the items he stole on the next level. This game also has a mugger that will steal food and treasures from the playfield. In addition to these enemies, there are new enemies to deal with. The first new enemy is the green acid puddle. These puddles will move around the floor randomly and must be avoided because if you contact one, you will lose 60 units of health and the puddle will disappear. Using magic will only stun these enemies, although using a second magic will cause these enemies to disappear. The next new enemy will be the Super Sorcerers. These enemies will look and act like traditional sorcerers, although now they will shoot fireballs at you before disappearing. Just like the regular sorcerer, you can only shoot or fight these enemies when they are visible. The next enemy is called It. It is a glowing yellow and red globe which is invulnerable. This enemy will seek out your player. If it contacts your character, you will become It, and all enemies will be attracted to your character. You will remain It until either you exit the playfield or touch another player. Touching another player will turn them into It, and the enemies will now be attracted to that player. The final new enemy is the Dragon. This dragon will remain in place, although his head will move back and forth, and occasionally will breathe a fireball toward your character. It is possible to defeat the dragon, although it will take many shots to defeat it, although if you defeat it, you will be greatly rewarded. Just like the original game, there will be glowing blue tiles. These tiles are traps, and walking across one will cause certain walls to disappear. There will also be glowing yellow tiles. You need to avoid these tiles because contacting one will stun your character for 2 seconds, allowing enemies the ability to attack while you are stunned. There will also be force fields throughout the maze. These force fields will be between 2 red posts placed inside the walls of the maze. When the force field is active, the tiles between the posts will glow between the colors red, blue, green, and white. Although it looks like the force field pulses are at random, there is a pattern. If you touch these tiles while they are glowing, you will lose 2 units of health for each pulse, which will equal approximately 100 units per second, although the force fields won't stay energized that long. There will also be power-up amulets and potions throughout some of the mazes. These power-ups include invisibility, which makes the enemies unable to see or follow your character, repulsibility, which causes the enemies to move away from your character, reflective shots, which allow your shots to bounce off the walls, enhanced speed, which speeds up your character, enhanced armor, which will lower your damage, and more fight power, which causes more damage when you fight the enemies. On later levels, several mazes will have invisible walls, making it difficult to traverse. There will also be mazes with moving walls. In addition, some of the later levels will have moving exits, in which the exit will move around the playfield. In addition to the moving exits, some of the mazes will have fake exits. These levels will have many of the floor tiles painted to look like exits, although they will not allow you to exit the maze. This game offers a secret room challenge. To reach the secret room, you need to do a secret trick which will allow one player to access the secret room. Some of the tricks are teleporting into an exit, pushing a movable wall into an exit, keeping all your super shots, or teleporting onto death or one of the acid pools, to name a few, although I couldn't do it repeatedly, just once by accident, and if you succeed in exiting the secret room, you'll be allowed to enter your full name and you'll be given a code to mail into Atari, in which Atari would send the first 500 entries, a Gauntlet II t-shirt, and a chance to win a savings bond. Scoring for the game is as follows. You'll earn 10 points for shooting each ghost, 5 points for shooting each grunt, sorcerer, super sorcerer, demon, lobber, and you will earn 25 points for fighting each of these enemies, although you cannot fight the ghosts. You'll earn 100 points for collecting the standard treasure and up to 500 points for collecting the locked treasure. You will also earn between 1,000 and 6,000 points for defeating death. I enjoyed playing this game, although I was never good at it, although I can't condemn this game due to my lack of ability to play it. I like this game more than Jump Bug, but not as much as the original Gauntlet, so Gauntlet 2 fights its way into the 99th position overall. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any games you'd like me to review, please leave a message below or on my homepage. Please remember to hit like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned to new videos every Sunday.